Testing. Hi. These lights are very dramatic. I love it. Everyone can see me. Hi, everybody. So my name is Claudine Ullman. And when I was in primary school, I was told that I was too large to make the netball team. I know. What? But anyway, in an act of defiance, or to try and give my Jewish mother some nachas, some pride, I decided I'm going to try out anyway. And that's exactly what I did. And I got in, baby. Thank you. Netball C-Team Reserve. But let me tell you something. I was dedicated, okay? I was at every single match. Mostly for the oranges at halftime, but I was there. I was there. And what I was desperately trying to do is I was desperately trying to find something I could be good at, something I was fantastic at. I was constantly kicked out of class and told that I was disruptive. On my progress reports, I got, Claudine is erratic. Erratic. I remember running to my mother crying in tears, going, my teachers think I'm erotic. And I was erratic. I was. I desperately needed to express myself. That is better. So I tried out for the public speaking team when I got into high school, and I got into the finals of the junior public speaking competition, and to my shock and my horror, I found out that there was an impromptu section. Now, we had half an hour to write our speeches, and in that half an hour, I did nothing. And when my name was called up to come out on stage, I froze. I went blank, I started to shake, and then I took a deep breath. And something truly amazing happened. I surrendered. I began to improvise. I started to talk as if I was talking to my family, talk as if I was talking to my friends. And for the first time in my life, I realized that being authentic was okay. Not only was it okay, it was fun. And it was at that moment I realized what I needed to do for the rest of my life. So, cut to my adult life. Who knows if I've grown up yet? But I am a professional improviser. Thank you. Thank you to the one person at the back for shouting yay. Thank you. So what that means that I am in the business of faking it till you make it. I get to perform. But I also get to help people, whether they want to be professional improvisers or not. I get to help them incorporate the fundamental principles of improv into their everyday lives. I work with the most incredible team of people, and sometimes I have to pinch myself when I look at who I work with. And we own a company called Jittery Citizens. We specialize in improv comedy, corporate entertainment, team building, and training. The question I get asked the most is, what is improv? What is improvisation? It is the ability to make something totally special out of nothing. Now, improv is a learned skill, which means everyone can do it. It just means that some people are going to be better at improv than others. Look at Jacob Zuma. Fantastic improviser. Give him a script with some numbers and not exactly the same story. So what I'm going to do today is I am going to show you the 6 golden rules of improv. And if you can incorporate these rules into your everyday lives, it will change your thinking, change your relationships, and make your lives more abundantly awesome. Rule number 1 is say yes and. Now, a lot of people think that improv comedy is all about me being funny, me being the star of the show, but it's not. Improv is all about making the other guy look like a genius. And we do that by creating a culture of yes and. Now, everything you and I do in improv is called an offer. And in order to move the scene along, we need to accept each other's offers and we have to add to them. So I'm going to do an exercise with you all now. After everything I say, I want you to shout, "Yes, that's awesome!" Okay? So I want to teach you about improv comedy. With feeling, people. I want to tell you about the benefits thereof. And I want to tell you how improv can make your lives amazing. Great. Now I want to do the exact same thing, but to everything I say, you're going to shout no. I want to teach you about improv comedy. So as you can see from that example, saying yes feels awesome. It feels awesome because it validates us. It puts us in an open, receptive space. Okay? It allows for the conversation to flow and ideas to move forward. What saying no does is saying no halts creativity, it destroys ideas, and it feels really cuck. Am I allowed to say cuck at TEDx? I don't know, I've just said it twice. Anyway, so can you imagine if you walked into your boardroom and the moment you gave an idea or you shared a thought, everyone stood up on the table and shouted, "Yes, that's awesome!" Your work environment would be a very different place, wouldn't it? The next rule is to play. Be silly. Be weird. So we lose this as adults. We lose this ability because we're taught to think rationally, think critically, but we're not really taught how to play. So what we as Jittery Citizens do is we go into the workplace and we encourage people to use play as a method of creation. Now, if you've ever watched a child play, you'll see that children play in the present moment. The excitement lies in the uncertainty of what comes next. Now, children are mindful when they play, and improv and mindfulness is one and the same thing. So it's fair to say that improv is mindfulness in a social situation. Active listening. Now, in everyday conversations, we listen enough to each other just to respond. We're so caught up with preconceived ideas of how the conversation should flow. We're worried about what should be rather than what is. And what active listening does is it allows us to listen with our entire bodies, with our entire beings. And by doing that, we lose all form of agenda. We become open and receptive to change, and we live in the present moment. And because we are in the present moment, we are able to react intuitively. Learn to fail. So we fail all the time. On my first day of studying at Second City in Chicago, we were told that this is a totally creative space and all our ideas are valid. There are no mistakes. And this is why I find improv so liberating. Because every time we stuffed up a scene, we'd laugh about it, we'd learn from it, and we'd move on. As adults, we're so fearful. We're so fearful of what other people think. We're so fearful of making mistakes because we associate failing with being a failure. In improv, we see failure for what it is, an opportunity for something magical to happen. Trust. In improv, we work from top-of-mind consciousness, okay? That means we trust our initial impulses. When we trust our initial impulses, we go with our first ideas. It serves us in improv to trust and actually hinders us to distrust. You'll see if you have coworkers who you don't trust, you won't feel safe with them, you won't want to work with them. So what we have found is that trust actually leads to greater group cohesion and leads to positive social health amongst coworkers. Amy Poehler once said that improv is like the military. You leave no man behind. Now, improv forms a great framework to create a positive atmosphere for productivity, teamwork, and collaboration. In improv, every single person is a supporting actor. And what that means is making the other guy look like a genius is just as important in professional and personal relationships as it is in comedy. What we found through training, through developing an awesome, solid improv troupe, is that when we support each other, when we have each other's backs, we create an environment to build stronger teams, to generate better ideas, to create greater work ethic, and also to give people the confidence to speak up authentically within a group. How do I live an improv life? Well, you got to apply these principles. By applying these principles, you will maintain a positive outlook in life, you will enhance relationships, and your lives will become amazing. Okay? Now, what we need to do in order to do this is we need to become yes people. Because yes people are okay with being silly. They're okay with trying new things. We need to listen actively with our whole bodies and lose agendas so we can be in the present moment. We need to fail and love failure because failing makes us brave, because it's an opportunity for revelation. We need to trust ourselves and each other and realize that when we do trust ourselves and each other, anything and everything is possible. So improv is a wonderful structure. It's a wonderful framework for you to find your creative genius. How amazing would your lives be if you took the step to improv your lives? Thank you very much. Thank you.